Hi and welcome to our free crash course on Excel's essential dynamic array functions. This free course comprises of selected lessons and sections of lessons from our top-selling Excel beginner to advanced certificate course and Excel for accounting and finance certificate course. Our Excel beginner to advanced certificate course and Excel for accounting and finance certificate course are both CPD certified courses and are available to purchase on our site. You will get the following benefits by buying the original course: a globally recognized CPD accredited certificate, free access to our innovative Excel learning app that allows you to take the course inside your Excel application itself, a lecture files and practice files, quizzes to reinforce learning, access to support from our instructors, lifetime access and lesson updates for latest functions and features as they are rolled out by Microsoft. This next video gives an introduction to our Excel learning app. Are you looking for a better and smart way to learn Excel? Then you need to check out our innovative new Excel learning app. Our app delivers Excel training courses directly inside your Excel application itself for a truly immersive and novel learning experience. With our app, there is no need to watch tutorials outside the Excel application, download Excel files, and then come into Excel to practice. All lecture videos, practice files, and other resources are accessible from inside your Excel application. The app will provide you with a unique and immersive learning experience with minimum distractions and hassle. You can watch streaming video tutorials directly inside the Excel application. The video screen can be resized as required by dragging the app pane or by using picture-in-picture mode to watch while you practice. Excel practice files can be loaded directly onto your Excel application using the Load button. With the app, there is no need to download files separately and open in Excel manually, as with other training solutions. Once you have finished practicing on a file, you can clear the loaded file with the Clear button and load another file to practice as required. A Download button is available if you want to download files for later use. Additional learning resources such as quizzes, practice tests, assignments, and coding exercises are all accessible from inside Excel through the app as well. Our app will provide you with a unique and immersive learning experience with minimum distractions and hassle. The app is compatible with all of these Excel versions. Our app is provided free of charge to all who purchase Excel courses on our course marketplace. You can use the app or learn on our site as well. To get the app, you need to first sign up and purchase an Excel course from our site. Installing the app onto your Excel application is very easy and straightforward. First, you need to open up your Excel application and go to Add-ins on the Home tab of the ribbon. Then just click on Add-ins and search for Aethenos in the search bar. Then select Aethenos for Excel and click on Add. Once you add our app to your Excel application, it will appear on your ribbon. You can log into the app using the same credentials you used on our site for your course purchase. Once logged in, you can access all your courses from inside the Excel application. So go ahead and buy a course and try it on our app. We can guarantee it will be the best Excel learning experience you can have. Now let's get started with our free course. We have provided timestamps in the description for your convenience. Hi. In this video, we will introduce you to dynamic array functions in Excel.
In 2018, Microsoft introduced a new calculation engine for Excel and 6 dynamic array functions. Now, these dynamic array features are only available in Microsoft 365 and Excel 2021. The new calculation engine and the formulas allow you to write one formula and get multiple results. This eliminates the need for legacy CSV functions and formulas. Here, CSV stands for Control Shift and Enter. We'll first look at the legacy array functions and formulas, or what we call CSV functions and formulas. So here we got some names of workers, the hours they worked, and the rate per hour. And if we were to calculate their total wages, the normal way we will do is we will calculate by using this kind of a formula, hours into rate. And then, of course, we can copy it down. And then to get the total here, we will add a sum function equals sum, and we will take this range and press enter. Now here we have calculated the total wages for each of these workers and then the total wages. So here we have used normal formulas. So let's look at how we can do this using the CSE formulas. So first of all, if we want to calculate the wages of each of this person without writing a formula like this and copying it down, we can do like this. We can calculate all of these wages using an array formula. To do that, what we need to do is first select the whole range like this, where we need the total wages to be located. So here there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cells where the total wages are because we got 5 employees. So we need to select, first of all, the same number of cells. Then we can write a formula like this, equals, and then we can select the range where we got the hours. So that is array 1, and then multiply that by array 2, which is the rate per hour. So all we need to do is write like this, and instead of pressing enter key, we use the CSE. So we press Control Shift button and then enter key. And see, at once all of these calculations have been done and they are okay. But if you check inside the formula bar, you see there's a curly bracket which has been automatically entered around the formula. So that is because this is a CSE formula that we have entered. So the curly brackets indicate that. And we have anyway calculated all of these wages at once instead of calculating separately like in the earlier formulas and then copying it down. We can also calculate the total wages at once using an array function. So to do that, what we need to do is, let's select this cell over here and I will write the formula equals, and I use the regular sum function. And here I will select first the hours array, and then I will put a asterisk to multiply, and I will select the rate per hour array. So these are two arrays I have selected. So the sum function will multiply these inside the function and add them together. So it will calculate the total ages for Oliver and so on, and sum all of them together to arrive at the total wages here. So here I can close the bracket and I have to press Control, Shift and Enter. And I get the same answer. But here also you see I have curly brackets around the formula. When you calculate multiple values like this for total wages, we call it a multi-cell array because it returns multiple results across a range of cells. And in this example, we have what is called a single cell array. So these formulas return a single result inside one cell. These are some of the legacy CSE functions. So we got transpose, which converts rows to columns and vice versa. mmult, frequency, minverse, MDE term, linst, trend, frequency, and growth. So we'll look at one of these functions, transpose. So basically, transpose function can convert from vertical to horizontal and horizontal to vertical, vice versa. So it's similar to the phase special transpose, but it's dynamic. So what happens is if you use the transpose function, unlike space special, if you change the original data values, your transposed values will also update. So let's look at how we can use the function. First, we need to count how many cells are here. So there are 5 cells. If I want to transpose to horizontal like this, I need to select 5 cells, first of all, like this. So I have selected 5 cells. Then I can start writing the function equals transpose, and I select this cell range, close the bracket. I need to now press Ctrl Shift Enter instead of Enter key. And I got the transpose values here. Again, curly brackets have come because it's a CSC function. So I have basically transposed the values. And if I now change this value, for example, to 35, this value also updates. So it's dynamic, not like the paste special transpose. Now, if you have Excel 365 or 2021, you don't actually need to use the Ctrl Shift Enter method. You can just press Enter key, and you don't need to pre-select the number of cells as well. So let me show you how you can do that in the new version of Excel 365, which I'm using. So you can just type equals transpose and just select the cells and press Enter. So it will automatically do the transpose. So I have written the function only in this cell, but the other values are in the other cells. So this is a CSC function. Here I have used the dynamic array function. So it's the same function, but the way I entered is different. So basically, if you have Excel 365 or Excel 2021, you can completely forget about this CSC functions and formulas and go with the normal dynamic array functions or the formulas. Now, the legacy array functions are less flexible compared to modern dynamic arrays, and they require manual resizing and editing. They are still supported for compatibility reasons, but gradually they are being replaced by dynamic array functions in newer versions of Excel. Now we'll get into dynamic array functions and formulas, and we'll look at a behavior called a spilled array, which happens when you write functions or formulas in dynamic array form. So here we have the same data. So let's say I want to calculate total wages. I can do a formula like this, equals, I select the hours, then multiply by rate power. So I don't have to pre-select the range like this, where I have the total wages, like when I did for the CSE version. And I can just press Enter key. And see, the formula has now spilled into these other cells. So what we call spilling is where the results are being spilled into the adjacent cells. So my function, if you come to the formula bar, it's there only in cell E62. Or my formula is only in cell E62. But the answers or the results have spilled into these other cells. And if you see the formula bar, they're kind of grayed out. That's because the formula doesn't reside in these other cells. It only resides in the first cell where I wrote the function. And I can also do the same total wages calculation in one shot by using this function equals sum, and I can select the hours like this multiplied by the rate. And again, I don't need to use Ctrl Shift Enter. I can just press the Enter key. And I got the answer in this cell. So it's a one cell array. In my previous transpose function also, you can see the transpose results have spilled into these other cells. And when you have a spill range, if you have a spilled array like this, you can see there's a blue line going across the border. So that indicates there's a spilled array. And here as well. Now, when we have the spilled arrays like this, we also have a new error type called hash spill error. So let me demonstrate how that happens. So let me say I do the same total wages formula over here. So I will write equals hours into rate, and I got it spilled here. And if I write the same formula here, equals this into this array and press enter. See, now I get a hash spill error. We get a hash spill error because, as you can see, so there's some type of data in this cell which blocks the spill from going through. So here it needed up to this cell to spill, but in the middle of that I got some data and it can't spill. So that's why it's getting a hash spill error. So whenever you get a hash spill error, what you need to do is remove whatever the data that is blocking your spilled area. So here I can just remove this to the side and it spills. So it can be anything basically. It can be any type of data that can block, like it can be text, numbers, dates, whatever. So if it's blocking, you will get the hash spill error. With this new dynamic array functions and formulas, we also have what is called a hash operator or a spill range operator. So let me demonstrate that with example. So I will again write the same formula here, hours into rate power, press enter, and I got the answer spilled here. And here in another cell, let's say I want to write a sum function, and I start the sum function and I select this range where the spilled data is there, and see it has changed, the cell reference has changed to B83 hash. And if I close the bracket and press enter, I of course get the total. But the cell reference here, it has a, instead of saying B83 to B87, it says B83 hash. So the hash operator in this situation, it denotes it's a spill range. So what it's saying is there's a spill range from B83 onwards, and that's what I'm taking into the function. So if this spill range updates and I wrote the formula like this, it will again update automatically and it will be dynamic. So I don't need to adjust the function references. I can even type the formula using the hash operator like this. I can write equals sum, and I know the range, I know the cell is B83, so I can type B83 and put a hash, and it goes and selects the spill range, and I can close the bracket. So the syntax is the starting cell B83 and then the hash. If I want to refer to this transpose spilled area, the cell is E54. So I can write equals sum, open bracket, E54 and hash. And that will refer to that spill area. So basically the hash operator makes it easy for you to refer to spill ranges, and your formulas or functions that you use the hash operator automatically becomes dynamic.
Thanks for watching. Hello. In this video, we will learn about the sort function in Excel.
Excel's sort function is a new dynamic array function which allows you to sort a range or an array in ascending or descending order. So let's look at the syntax. So you have sort, and then the first argument is array, that is basically range or the array you need to sort. And the sort index is the column index used in the sorting. So the default value is 1. For example, if you have 4 or 5 columns, then if you want to sort by the third column, you can use 3 as the sort index. And the default value is 1. And then we have the sort order. Sort order means whether you want ascending or descending order sort. So the default is 1, ascending, and the other option is descending -1. Then we have the fourth argument, by call. That means whether you want to sort by a column or a row. And it depends on the form of the data, whether it's in columns or rows. And the default value is false where you sort by the row. If you want to sort by column, you have to change it to true. So let's look at some examples. So here we got some data or some products, the volumes, and then the price per unit. And let's say now we want to sort by product name in ascending order. We can write the function here, equals sort, and then I need to give the array. So here I want to return the product, volume, and price, all three of them. So I will select the whole range like this. If I only select the product range, it will only return the product. So I select everything and put a comma. Now it's asking for the sort index. So I want to sort by the first column. So I will give 1 as the sort index. And then it's asking me for the sort order. Do I want ascending or descending? So I want ascending. I will select 1. And the last option, whether I want to sort by column or row. Now here I want to sort by rows. So I will select false. And I can close the bracket, press enter. And my data is now sorted by product in ascending order. So P, C, D, F, I. So alphabetically in ascending order, the product names are sorted. I can also write a simpler formula to get the same results. I can just write the function equals sort. And I again select the whole range for the array. And I don't give any of the optional arguments. I don't need to give sort index because I'm going to sort by the first column. So by default, the sort index value is the first column. So I don't need to really put that. And at the sort order, what I want is ascending order. And the default sort order is ascending. So I need to not give that as well. And I want to sort by, not by column, by row. And for that, and the default value for that is also by row. So I need not give all three of these last optional arguments. Only the simple form of the function I can write here. So I can close the bracket and press enter. And I got the same results. That is because I was using the default argument values. I need not give any of them. But it's a good practice to fill in the optional arguments as well, so that you know that you are using the correct argument options. So let's look at another situation where we want to sort by the first column in descending order instead of the ascending order. So you can write the function like this, equals sort. Again, I select the whole range because I want all of these columns to be there. And the sort index, I can give 1 because I want to sort by the first column. And I need here in descending order. So I need to select -1. Then I have the products in descending order from V to B in alphabetical descending order. What if I want to sort by the second column instead of the first column in descending order? So that means I want to sort by volume. Volume is the second column. In a situation where I want to sort by volume in descending order, I can change the function the way I'm doing here. So let's look at how we can do it. Equals sort. Again, I will select the whole range like this. And now I want to sort by volume. So volume is the second column. So the sort index needs to be 2. So I will put 2 there. And then I want descending order. So -1 and close bracket. So I got it sorted by volume in descending order. So largest volume is at the top and the smallest volume is at the end. Now let's look at a situation where the data is in rows like this. Now let's look at an example where the data is now basically in different columns like this. Here we had it in rows like this. And here now we are having the data as columns for each of these products. So we got the product, the volume, and then the price. Let's look at how we can sort horizontally by column using values in row 1 and we want in descending order. Now here I want to have the product names sorted in descending order. So I can write the function here equals sort. So I need to select the whole range here. Comma. Then the sort index is, I want to sort by the first row, the product. So I select 1 and I want it in descending order. I select -1 and now I need to sort it by columns. So I can select true and press enter. So my product names are now sorted in descending order, starting from V and ending in B. So that's descending order alphabetically. In this example over here, we want to sort by products in descending order and by price per unit in ascending order. So we want to basically sort by 2 fields. So still we can use the same sort function. Let's see how we can do that. So we start with the equal sort. And since I want all of the product volume and price columns, I will select the whole range like this. And now I have to give the sort index. So I want to sort by product in descending and price ascending. So product is column number 1 and price is column number 3. So I need to give both of these inside this sort index. The way to do that is I can start with a curly bracket. So I press a curly bracket because I'm going to give an array and give different values for sort index. The first one I need is 1 or the product, and then I can put a comma, and the second sort index is 3 or price per unit. So I can basically change the sequence. If I wanted price per unit first, I can type 3 first, and if I want product after that, I can type 1 after that. Or if I want multiple columns, I can still include that, and I just need to give the sequence inside the curly brackets like 1, 2, 3 or whatever. And in this case, I'm just using first and third columns. So then I need to close the curly bracket. and I put a comma. Now I have to give the sort order. So the sort order also, since there are two columns I need to sort by, I can give the relevant sort orders for them in the same sequence. So first I need to give the sort order for one column, and then I need to give the sort order for the third column. Again, I need to use a curly bracket because I'm giving multiple values or array. So for product or the first column, I need descending order. So I can put -1. And then for price, I need ascending order. So I can put a +1. And I can then close the curly bracket and put a comma. Now I need to say whether I want to sort by column or row. So in this case, I want to sort by row. So I select false and close the bracket and press enter. So I got the results. So I wanted to first sort by product in descending order. So V is here and B is here. So alphabetically it's sorted in descending order by name. So the prices also seem to be in ascending order. But if you look at the source data, we have only one item per each of these products. So if you want to double check whether our sorting is okay, we can probably have a duplicate of the same product and then see whether the sorting is fine. So let's change this veggie burger to large fries. So we got 2 large fries items. And here, if you come here, we have large fries at the top and price per product. We wanted in ascending order. So the 2.5 is at the beginning and the higher 3.5 is after that. So within the same product, we can see the price per unit is in ascending order. So our function seems to be working correctly. So we have used duplicate products to verify whether the sorting is happening properly.
Thanks for watching. Hi. In this video, we will learn about the SORTBY function in Excel.
SORTBY function sorts contents of a range or array based on values from another range or array. So this is different from the sort function where you are not using another range or array to sort by. So unlike the sort function, in the SORTBY function, we are using another array or a range to sort by. So this is the syntax of the SORTBY function. So first argument is array, that is the range or array to sort. And by array is the range or array to sort by. So it's different from the array. Then we have sort order, ascending 1 and descending -1, and default value is ascending. And the fourth argument is array or order. You can give it in sequence. Like for array 1, you can give the order. Array 2, you can give the order, whether ascending or descending. So likewise, you can have multiple sets of arrays and orders. So there's another difference in the SORTBY function when we compare with the sort function. So it doesn't have a separate argument to say whether we want the sorting by rows or columns. So here the range or array provided by the by array argument will determine the sorting orientation automatically. When by array is vertical, it sorts vertically by rows, and when the by array is horizontal, it sorts horizontally by columns. So here we have some products, the volumes, and then the price per unit. And let's say we want to sort product range in ascending order by the volume range. So basically we are sorting the product range by another range, which is the volume range. So let's see how we can do the function. So we type equals sort by, and then we only want the product. So we give array as the product range. And then by array is where we want to sort by. So in this case, we want to sort by volume. So we will select the volume range. And then we have to give the sort order. We want ascending. So we select 1. So here we are only sorting by volume. So we can close the bracket, press enter. So you see combo meal is the first and chicken nuggets is the last. So if you check the volumes, the highest volume is chicken nuggets. So it's at the last. So you are in the ascending order. So the largest volume, 120, belongs at the bottom where chicken nuggets are. So if you check the lowest value is 30, and that is the combo meal. So the combo meal is at the top over here. So we can see now the product has been sorted in ascending order by volume in this list over here. So again, if you want to sort the product by ascending order by volume, and then we want to get all 3 columns of data, we can write the function this way, equals sort by. And here for array, all I need to do is give the whole range because I want all 3 columns returned. And then I give the by array. So I want to sort by volume again. And the order is in ascending order. And I can close the bracket, press enter. So now I can see all the data is written. So I can see combo meal, the lowest volume is over here. And chicken nuggets, the highest value is over here. And all of the volumes are in ascending order. Clearly, I can see that now. Now we'll look at how we can sort by descending order by volume. Now let's see how we can sort the products in descending order by volume range. So I can write the formula here, equals sort by. So array, I need to select all of the columns. And then by array is again, I want to sort by volume. And here I want in descending order. So -1 and close bracket, press enter. Now the products are in descending order by volume. So the highest volume, chicken nuggets, is at the top. Earlier it was at the bottom. And then combo meal, the lowest value, is at the bottom over here. Now let's look at sorting by 2 levels. So here I have some data, the name of the salesperson, the product, the region, units sold, and then the sales value in dollars, 1,000. So what if I want to sort the data to range in ascending order by region and then in descending order by sales? So I have 2 levels of sorting. First by ascending order by region and then descending order by sales. So let's see how we can write the function. We can write equals sort by. So I want to select the whole range for the array because I want all the values of the columns returned. And I put a comma. So first I need to sort by region in ascending order. So I will select region, comma, and I want in ascending order. So I will select 1 and then comma, and then I have to give the second array and then the second sort order. So second I want in descending order by sales. So I need to select first sales and then I need to select descending order. So I can put -1. and close the bracket and press enter. So let's see whether the data is fine. So I wanted by ascending order by region. So region alphabetically needs to be in ascending order, and then descending order by sales. So if we take the north region like this, the sales values are in descending order. So the highest value 172 is here, and the lowest value 44 is here. So, and also the regions are sorted alphabetically in ascending order. So E, N, S, and then finally W. And if you check south also, south we got 2 items for south. So 283 highest value is at top, and then after that we get the lower value 20. So our data has been sorted properly by region in ascending order, then by sales in descending order. So let's look at what's called a horizontal sort by, where we are sorting data across columns from left to right, rather than the default vertical sorting where we do top to bottom. So we got our source data here. So these are the different columns I got. Let's say I want to have column 1 as product, column 2 as sales, column 3 as region, column 4 as units, and so on. And then I want it this way. So product, column 1 is here, sales is 2, and so on. I can write the function here, equals sort by. For the array, I need to give the whole range like this. And for the sort by order, for the by array, I will give this number sequence here. And I want it in ascending order from 1 to 5. And I close bracket, press enter. And I got it sorted in by these numbers in ascending order. So product is column number 1 and name is column number 5. We can also change the sort order from ascending to descending. So if I change this ascending 1 to -1 to get descending. Now Alice is the first column now, the name. So the first column now has the names. So the name column is actually 5. So name column has become 1 now. So it's in descending order. So the highest column, number 5, has become number 1. And what we got at the end is the product column, that is number 1. So from 5 to 1, it is now sorted in descending order. So let me just change this back. Also, without giving a range here, I have given a range here for the sort order. I can also type it inside the function as an array. So let's see how we can do that. I can type equals sort by, and I give the range like this, comma, and for by array, I will give a array starting with a curly bracket. So what I want is 5, 1, 3, 4, and 2. So that's a column sequence I have given here, column number sequence. So I give it like that. And I can close the curly bracket and I will put ascending order and close bracket and enter. So I got the same arrangement for the columns from product to name. Here also product to name. So here I have given the by array form, and it gives the same result.
Thanks for watching. Hello. In this video, we will learn about the filter function in Excel.
We can use Excel's filter function to filter data based on given criteria. For example, in a data set, we can find the sales records where the sales value is greater than $1,000. The syntax is filter. We got arguments array, include, and if empty. Array is basically the data set that we want to filter. For include, you can give criteria like whether a number is greater than or equal to some number, or you can give other criteria based on dates, times, and multiple other values. The if empty argument is optional. This is where you can specify what to return when no results are returned. Well, let's look at example. So here we got some scores obtained by different students at an examination. We want to find the scores that are greater than or equal to 50. So we can write the function like this, equals filter, and the array is where the data is located, the scores. For include, we can give the criteria. So what we want to do is give the criteria range again like this. And these scores should be greater than or equal to 50. So that's the criteria we need to go for. And I will leave the optional argument blank and close bracket, press enter. So I got all the results that are greater than or equal to 50 in this filtered list. I can also have the value for the criteria in a cell like this and refer to that in the function. So I can do like this, equals, again filter, range array is this, and again the criteria is this range is greater than or equal to, here I will give cell reference instead of the 50 and close bracket, press enter. So I get the same result. Now here I got some sales data with the names of the salespeople, product, region, units, and the sales in USD. Now if I want to filter out the names that are equal to Chloe, I can use a filter like this, equals filter, and I just need the name range, so I will give that as the array, and the criteria I'm going to give for include is the name is equal to, and I can refer to this cell where I have typed in the name and close bracket and press enter. So I got 2 occurrences of Chloe, so that's why I get 2 names returned over here. So if I have another name, for Maya, I only got 1 record here. If I want the other values of the columns also returned, I can write the formula this way, equals filter. And for array, I will give the whole range because I want all the columns to be returned. And then include this basically where the criteria name needs to be equal to this name over here. Then I can close bracket, press enter. And I got the records for Maya. So if I change the name back to Chloe, I got the records returned for Chloe with the other fields. I can also, instead of referring to this cell over here, I can give the name Chloe inside here in the formula using double quotations. Instead of the cell reference, I can put double quotation CHLOE and close the double quotations. And I get the same result. I can specify what to do or return if there's no matching data as well. To do that, I can write the formula like this. Filter. So I'll give the whole range like this, comma, and the name needs to be equal to whatever I input over here. So name column needs to be equal to here, this reference. And then I put a comma, and if empty, I can say no match. So I need to type that within double quotations, no match. And close bracket, press enter. So here, of course, there's no match for X in this name list. So if I change this to Alice, so I got the names returned for Alice. Let's see how we can handle multiple criteria. So far, we have only looked at one criteria. So unlike the sum ifs, count ifs, and other functions which allow us to input criteria for multiple conditions, the filter function doesn't have a direct way for us to enter multiple criteria. So to get around this, the trick we are going to use is we are going to use what's called Boolean algebra. So under Boolean algebra, if you have true in a cell, that is converted to 1 as a number inside the function. If we have false, that is converted to a 0 inside the function. So if you check for a criteria and you get a true, that is converted to a number 1 in the function. And if it's false, it's converted as a 0. So we can use the multiplication or the asterisk math operator to demarcate AND logic. And we can use the plus operator to demarcate OR logic. So what happens is, if I have two rows like this, 1 and 1, and I multiply that together, I will get 1. So here the 1 is taken as the AND condition is true. So another situation where I might get is, I get a 1 and a 0. So if I multiply 1 by 0, I get 0. So here, only if both conditions are true, like 1 and 1, the AND condition returns 1, and we say the condition is fulfilled. If 1 is true and 1 is false, the multiplication gives 0. So in this case, we say the AND condition is not fulfilled or it's false. So let's look at an example where we can use AND logic. We have this sales data and we want to find records where the name is equal to Chloe and the product is equal to Aquafusion. So both of these conditions or criteria need to be fulfilled, and it's a AND logic we are going to use. So we are going to use multiplication. So we can write the function like this, filter, and since we want to return all of the fields, I will take the whole range as the array, and I will give the include criteria and by using a multiplication. So I will first give the first criteria, that is where the name, this range, needs to be equal to Chloe. And then I will put this inside a bracket like this. So that is my first criteria. And then I will use asterisk or multiplication to demarcate AND logic. And I will open another bracket and give the second criteria where the product, this range, needs to be equal to equafusion. And I will close the bracket. So that's both of my criteria included. And I will close the bracket and press enter. So I got both criteria fulfilled. Name is Chloe. Product is equafusion. If I go inside that formula and go into the include section, you can see the values over here, 0, 0, 0, 0. And then there's a 1, and then there's another 1. So those are the two situations where the name is equal to Chloe and the product is equal to equafusion. So the other records are not returned. So these are the only two times that we got 1 for the multiplication. So only when both of these criteria are fulfilled, we get 2 ones, and 1 by 1 becomes 1. So if one of these are 0, you don't get a 1. So these two situations, the 2 ones are basically what we got here as shown as 2 records. So now let's look at the OR logic situation where we want the name to be Chloe and the product to be equafusion, and it can be either. Sometimes it can be only the name that is equal to Chloe, and sometimes it can be the product which is equal to equafusion. So either of these criteria needs to be fulfilled. Either of these means OR. So it can be a situation both of them are satisfied. It can be a situation both criteria are fulfilled, but that is the exception. We are just looking here for at least one of these criteria to be fulfilled. So let's see how we can use the function equals filter. Now I want all the range to be returned, so I will select the whole range. And I will start the first criteria with the open bracket. And the name should be equal to Chloe. That's one criteria. And now since I'm going for OR logic, instead of the asterisk, I will go for plus. And then I can start the second criteria where the product needs to be equal to equafusion. And I close the bracket and close the main bracket and press enter. So now I got this records return. So this is Alice and these are Chloe. And we got Emma's name returned as well. So Emma's name got returned because the product is equafusion in this case. So that record got returned. And Alice is not equal to Chloe, but we got that returned because equafusion is the product we want. And Sophia is also there because she has sold equafusion, which we want. It's basically taken OR logic where either the name is equal to Chloe or the product is equal to equafusion. So we got a special case where Chloe and equafusion are both fulfilled as well. So we can actually extend this for multiple criteria using a plus sign. If you want to check for another third criteria, we can include another plus and give the third OR logic or the third OR condition. And same way for here, for AND logic. If you want to add multiple other criteria, you can combine them using an asterisk like this between the different criteria. So for example, if I want the units to be greater than 15 or something, I can put asterisk and have that third condition added. If you again go into this AND function, if you go into this first AND function we used, and if you select the first range like this, you'll see false, false, false like that, and one true, another true, and 3 trues. And if you check in the other criteria, also you'll see false, false, false. We got trues here and there. So whenever both of these conditions have true here and true here, they will get multiplied and that will become 1. And those are the only records that we capture over here. In the logic function, if you come here and select the first criteria, you will get false, false, and then trues. So only the true values are taken into this record. And it's a plus, so any true records coming on the second criteria are also taken into this filter. So let's look at an example where we can use filter along with sort function. So we use sort with filter when we want to sort the filtered results in some order. So first we'll do a filter function to filter this data. And let's say we want to filter it by the product Aquafusion. So I will select the product range and type equals Aquafusion. And close bracket and press send. So I have it filtered by Aquafusion. So all the records that have Aquafusion are in this filtered range. Now let's say I want to sort this by name in ascending order. So to do that, I can come inside the formula and start the formula with sort. And I give this as the array. And I put a comma and the sort index. So here I want to sort by the first column. The first column is the name, so I will put 1 there. And for the sort order, I will say I want it in ascending order alphabetically from A to Z. So I will type 1 and close bracket, press enter. See now, all my names are sorted in alphabetical order from A to S. What if I want it sorted by the highest sales to lowest sales? In that case, I can come here and sales is the 5th column. So I will change this to 5. And then I will have in descending order from highest to lowest. So I'll make it -1 and press enter. Now I got the highest sales to lowest sales in descending order.
Thanks for watching. Hi. In this video, we will learn about the unique function in Excel.
We can use the unique function to extract values from a range. The syntax is unique array. The array is basically the range from which we want to extract two unique values. The by column argument means whether we want to extract from a column or a row, and by row is the default value, and by column is the other value. The final argument exactly once means whether we want to extract values that occur only once or whether we want all unique values. The all unique values is the default value. When we are looking for all unique values, we say we are looking for distinct values. Let's look at the function in action. So here we got a list of countries with duplicates, and we want to find a unique list of countries out of this list. So we can write the function here equals unique, and we just give the range like this. And here we are not going to use the optional arguments. We can close the bracket, press enter. And here we got a unique list of the countries. So there are no duplicates here. So it's a unique list of countries. We can use the unique function in array form as well. For example, we can use unique function using arrays like this. We type equals unique, and we can give different values within double quotations as an array. So I need to start with a curly bracket since I'm giving an array. And within double quotations, I will type the first item A. And to indicate that the data is in rows, I will put a semicolon to separate. And I will have B, semicolon, then C, semicolon, then again I will have A, semicolon, and finally a B. And I will close the curly bracket and close the bracket and press enter. So I got a unique list of letters A, B, C. So out of this, only A, B, and C are unique. So I got the unique list. So I can use a similar syntax to get a unique list of numbers. So I will just copy this and paste the formula over here. And here I will use a number sequence instead of the letters. So I don't need to have the double quotation. I will give 100 as the first number. Then I will give 50. Then 100 again. Then 200. And finally another 100. And press enter. So out of this list, I got 100, 50, and 200 as the unique numbers. So by default, the unique function will extract values in rows using that semicolon syntax as we have done here. And also if I use unique function here and give this data in rows and close bracket and press enter, I again get ABC as the unique values. If the data is not as rows like this, but in columns, then unique will not handle the values since they are organized as columns. Or in this case, we say we are using the comma separator. So here we use the semicolon when we have rows, and the comma separator means the data is in columns. So let me give an example. So here, if I use the unique function like this, so this data is in columns. So I have selected it like that. And if I press enter, see, the unique function doesn't return only the unique values. It's basically returning everything. So that is because it doesn't work when it's in column form. I need to do a change to the function. So I will also show you if I type in the values like this. So I will just copy from here. And paste it over here. And see, when I even give the function in the array form separated by commas, it doesn't still give unique values. It's showing all the values. So it doesn't work when the data is in column form. So for it to work, I need to change the by column argument to true or 1. Then it will work. So let's try the formula using data that is given as columns equals unique and I will select this data and I will put a comma, and for by call I will change it to true and press close the bracket, press enter. Now I got a unique list. So that's because I have given true as the by call argument. Here also in this function over here, if I give the by call argument, I will put a comma and change it to true and press enter. Now I got the unique results ABC. The unique function has an optional argument called exactly once that basically controls how it deals with repeating values. So the default form of the function is false, which means it will extract unique values regardless of how many times it appears in the source data. If you want to find values that exactly occur only once, you have to set the exactly value argument to true or 1. So let's look at how we can do that. So equals, we'll write the formula, unique, and I will select the country range. So here I want unique rows. So I will select that. And then for exactly once, I will select true. And close bracket, press enter. So I got United Kingdom and United States, which occur only once. Well, here's one United Kingdom and one United States. Well, let's look at extracting distinct values or values that occur more than once. I can just write unique and give the array, and I want to go return values by rows, and I want distinct values. And I got this distinct value list. So by default, actually, we have false, the by call is false, and exactly once as false. So I need not give these two arguments at all. I can leave that blank, and still I will get the distinct list. You can return multiple columns using unique function as well. So if I want to get the regions and the sales values also, I can use the function this way, unique, And for the array, I'll give the whole range. And I will say return unique rows and return every distinct item. I got the region and the sales as well. Since there are multiple records of the same name appearing here, we will only get the first record. For example, Alice East 26 is the first record. And for Grace, North 172 is the first record. So records after the first one are ignored and not shown over here. Again, for Emma, North 151. So Emma's first occurrence is this one that's shown there. And for Sophia, the first occurrence is this. So only out of the multiple records, only the first record for each name is shown in this list. So here we got some values by columns. Let's see how we can get the unique values by column. Equals unique. And I just select the columns like this. And I need to make this true to return unique columns. So here we got a company that sells 8 packs of products with different color combinations. Here I have highlighted packs which have similar color combinations, like pack 1 and pack 5. They have the same color combinations. And pack 2 and pack 7, they also have the same color combination. So let's try to find the unique packs or exactly ones packs in this set of packs. So we can write the function equals unique. I will give the whole range like this as the array. And now I want to go by column. So I will select true. And then I want to find the exactly ones. So I select this and press enter. So we have 4 packs which occur exactly once. So there is these 2, there are 2 that are duplicated. So total of 8. So there should be 4 exactly once packs. So that's what we got over here. So we have this first one is basically the pack number 3. And then blue, white, yellow, that is pack number 4. And then we got white, brown, red, orange. So that's pack number 6. And the last one is pack number 8. So they only occur once. Pack 1, 2, and 5 and 7 are duplicated. So let's try to find the distinct packs. So here we write the function equals unique. Select the whole range. Again, we need to go by unique columns. And then I want to get the distinct items. So I select false, close the bracket and press enter. So now I got 1, 2, 3, 6 distinct packs. So there's altogether 8. 2 are duplicated twice and twice. So that leaves 6 distinct packs. So those are displayed over here. So if you take this red, blue, green, yellow, orange, and white, the first one, it's only indicated once. And we have no duplicates of that. And then the pack 2, blue, green, red, purple, that is also indicated only once. And so there are 6 distinct packs. When we want to extract unique values that meet specific criteria, we can use the unique function together with the filter function. So here we got some names, products, and the regions, and this is the sales report. And let's say we want to find the people who sold in the north region. So here we can use a filter function to do that. So I will type equals filter, and I will just select the name range because I just need the name. And then for include, I will use region range equals the north. And I will close bracket and press enter. Now I have a list of the salespeople in the north region. As you can see, there are duplicates of some names like Grace, like Chloe. So to get a unique list, we can use the unique function and then wrap the filter function inside the unique function. So we can do it like this. So I'll start with the unique function. And for the array, I will give a filter function. So this array is returned. So I will type the filter function inside the unique function. So I will do the same thing I did earlier. So name is the array and region should be equal to north. So I close the bracket for the filter function and close another bracket for the unique function, press enter. And I have now got a unique list of names. Now if I want to get this name sorted in ascending or descending order, I can use the sort function as well. So what I will do is I will just copy this function and here I will start with the sort function. And inside the sort function, I will give the unique and the filter function, which I used earlier to get the unique names list. And then for the sort index, I will use 1. And for the sort order, I will use 1 for ascending order. And I will close the bracket and press enter. So now I got the name sorted in ascending order from C to S. So this is the function that I wrote. So it's using sort, unique, and then filter. We can create what's called dependent drop-downs using unique function and the filter function. So here we got some data for employees. We got the name, the department, and their salary. And I want to filter it by department and by name and get a report with the same headings like this. So for the department drop-down, I can create a unique list of the departments. So to do that, I can use the unique function over here. So I will type unique. And I will select the department list and press enter. So here I got a list of unique departments. I will now create a drop down using this unique list given over here. So I will go to the data tab and select data validation. And I will say I want to use a list. And for the source, I will select from here and give this cell over here. And then to give the whole list over here, I will use the hash operator like this. So the hash operator will make this list dynamic, and I will say OK. And now I got a list of unique departments over here from which I can select. Now under name, I want to create again a drop-down list, but that needs to be dependent on the department I have selected over here. For example, if I selected HR, only the employees whose names are in HR should be given in the drop-down list. So we call it a dependent list. So I can use the filter function first to create a list of names here. So let's use the filter function to create list equals filter. And I want to filter the names. And I want to include only names that related to this department, which is given over here. So I will select departments like this and type the criteria should be equal to this set. Then I will close the bracket and press enter. So I see now for HR, we got Alice and James. So HR only has Alice and James. So if I change this now to IT, for example, I get Emma and then Olivia on the list. So this list is basically dynamic, and it depends on what department I select over here. So let's create a drop down over here that links to this data over here. So again, I will come here, data validation, and I will select list. And for the source, I will select this first cell and come back, and I will put the hash operator so that the list is dynamic, and click OK. Now if I click here, I see for IT, I only get Emma and Olivia. So I can select from that. So if I select HR, I will get only Alice and James. So this name drop down is now dependent on the department drop down. Now I will use the filter function to get the report over here. So I'll type equals filter, and I need the whole range as the array, comma, and I will have the two criteria for the include function. And the first criteria is the department should be equal to HR. So I will select department range equals HR, and I will close the bracket. Now I will use the Boolean algebra method we use for the AND condition. So asterisk or multiply, and I will give the other criteria, that is name should be equal to Alice. So I will select name range equals Alice, and close the bracket, and we'll put a comma, and if empty, I will give a message no record. And finally close the final bracket and press send. So I have Alice Johnson's details over here. So from here, if I change to IT and maybe I select Emma, so it updates according to the dynamic drop downs. So that's how you can create dependent drop-downs using the unique function and the filter function.
Thanks for watching. Hello. In this video, we will learn about the sequence function in Excel.
We can use the sequence function to generate a list of sequential numbers in an array. These arrays can be one-dimensional like a row or a column, or two-dimensional, which means it has rows and columns both. And the syntax of the sequence function is you have argument rows, which is the number of rows to return. Columns is optional, that's the number of columns you want to return. And then you can give a starting value. And then the step means the increment. So do you want to increase by 1 or like 10, something like that? So you can give the step value as well. So the column start and step arguments are optional. And we can use the sequence function to generate a numeric array inside other formulas and functions. So let's look at some examples. So let's say we want to create a column of numbers from 1 to 10. So we can write the function here equals sequence, and the rows here we want it as columns. So we only need one row, and then we need 10 columns. So I give the number of columns, and the start value is 1, and then the increment or the step is 1. So it will generate a number sequence from 1 to 10. Starting from 1 and increasing by 1. And I close the bracket and press enter. So I got 10 number sequence. So I got the number sequence as columns. Here actually the starting value and the step I can actually omit because the default values of start is 1 and default values of step is 1. So if I delete it like this, so as you know, for optional arguments, the default values will kick in if we omit them. So I will press enter and I still get the same number sequence. So what if I want, now here we had columns, what if I want numbers 1 to 5 in rows? So I can write the function equals sequence, and here I need rows. So I need 5 rows and the number of columns is 1. And I need not give the start and the step because basically I'm going to start from 1, which is the start value, default value. And the step is also 1. So I can just close this and press send. And I got a number list 1 to 5. So here we got numbers in columns as a one-dimensional sequence or array. So here we got a one-dimensional array in the form of rows. So we can create two-dimensional arrays as well. So two-dimensional means we have the rows and then the columns. So if I want to create a 4 by 4, that means 4 rows by 4 columns array, and I want 16 cells there. So it will contain 16 cells. And the values I need to be 1 to 16. So I can type the function like this equals sequence. So rows, I need 4 rows. Columns, I need 4 columns. And I need to start from 1 and I need to step by 1. So if I want, I can omit those start and the step numbers. So I will just enter that for clarity and press enter. And you see, I got a 2 by 2 array of numbers starting 1, 2, 3, 4 like that. And then the second row, it starts from 5, so on until we get 16. Let's see how we can generate the numbers 10 to 50 in 5 columns. So here the increment is increasing by 10, or the step is 10. So I will write the function equals sequence. So I need only 1 row and I need 5 columns and starting from 10, and the increment is 10 as well. so it's increasing by 10. And I got 10 to 50 in columns. So I can say do the same thing in rows. So I write the function like this, sequence. So I need now 5 rows and 1 column, and starting from 10 and increasing by 10. Step is 10. And press enter. I got it as rows. And here we want sequential numbers 5 rows by 5 columns starting from 10 and incrementing by 10. So I can just type equals sequence. So I need 5 rows, 5 columns starting from 10 and incrementing by 10. And I got the array in 5 by 5. And here we want to count from -100 to 0 in increments of 10, and we want it in rows. So here we will have 11 numbers because we are starting from 0 and incrementing by 10. So we will need 11 cells to contain the data. So we will write the function equals sequence. So number of rows is 11 because we are starting from 0. And then we need 1 column. And we are starting with -100 now. So we just type -100 and incrementing by 10. So that means from -100 we are going to keep on adding tens. And press enter. And I got -100, -90, likewise until we reach 0. Here we want to count down from 10 to 0. So the increment or the step will be 1. So we can write the function like this, equals sequence. So I need 1 row and I will need 11 columns because we are starting from 10 and going to 0. And then we are going to start from 10 and the step is -1. So we are going to reduce from 10 -1 until we reach 0. And I press enter. So I got 10, 9, 8 like that until we reach 0. The sequence function is very useful when you want to generate sequence of dates. So when we are building financial models, we need maybe month ends or year ends like that. And we need a sequence of that. So we can use the sequence function to generate sequence of dates. So let's say I want to generate a list of 10 days starting from today and I need it in columns. So I can write the function this way, equals sequence. So I need in columns, so I will put 1 as rows, 1 row, and I need 10 days, so 10 columns. And for the start, I can give today, basically today's date, and I can use the today function for that. Can type today and close the bracket. So that's the date function today, and put a comma. And the step I will put incrementing by 1 and press send. So I got the numbers generated. So because formatting doesn't get applied automatically, I'm getting the serial number of the dates. So I can select the dates like this and go to format, and I will select short date. And I see from today increasing by 16 April to 17th April, 1 day at a time. So I got a sequence of 10 days. I can also create a list of 10 days or n number of days starting from a given date. So let's say I want to get a list of dates starting from 30th August 2024. So I need 10 days starting from here. So I can write the function like this, equals sequence. So I need one row and 10 days, so 10 columns. And the date, I can hard code the date using double quotations. I can give 30th August 2024 and close with double quotation. And then the step, I will put 1 day, so 1, and present. So again, if I do the formatting, short date, so I will start from 30th August, 31st August onwards like that until I reach 8th of September, so that is 10 days. So here I basically hard coded the date into the formula like this, 30th August 2024 in double quotations. I can also link it to a cell like this. So I can write, in that case, I can write it like this, sequence. So I need again one row, 10 columns, and the start date, I can give the cell reference C106 and step of 1 and present. So again, I need to do the formatting, short date. So I get the same date sequence. What if I want to generate a list of, let's say, 12 days corresponding to the first day of the month for all months in the year? So I want every first of each month to be generated. So I can do like this, equals. Here I will need to use the date function eDate. So you can see the eDate returns a serial number of the date, indicated number of months before or after the starting date. So I can give from starting date, I need 12 months or whatever, and the eDate function will generate those dates. So I start with the eDate, and then I need to give the starting date. So for starting date, I will give the date 1st of January 2025 within double quotations. So that's the start date. And for the number of months, I can use a sequence function for that. So sequence. So here I need numbers in columns. So one row, and I need 12 columns. So here I want to start from the first month I've given, which is January. So I'll put 0 there. And for step, I will put 1. And close that bracket and close the eDate bracket. I got the dates generated. Let's format it. Short date. So I start from 1st of January 25. I got 1st of February 25, 1st of March, so on, so until I go to 1st of December 2025. So that's 12 months of dates. So if I want, I can actually give the start date like this. If I copy this, paste it over here. Let's give 1st of January 25 as a cell. So I can use the same function here. Let's copy that, Control C. And I will come here, paste Control V. And then I will change the hard-coded date from here to this cell reference, C112. And I will get the dates generated the same way. So let's change the format, short date. And I got the same dates. So you can either hard code it like this, the start date, or use a cell reference for the start. So here, what if I want to generate the next n months from a given date? So n can be any number. So I have a starting date and I want to get a sequence of dates which can be a given number of months. So in this case, I want 12 months of dates from this starting date. So I'll start the function here. So I will start with eDate again. And I give the starting date. And then for the number of months, I again need to use a sequence function. Sequence. And I can give starting. So I need one row. And the number of columns will be the number of months I'm going to give in this cell. So I will use that cell reference C122. And I will start from the given month. So I will put 0. And I will have a step of 1. And I will close the two brackets and press enter. So if I change the formatting, short date. So I got the date starting from 15th March. So next one is 15th April. So the same date, but the months are changing. So I'm getting the same date, but the months are increasing up to 12 months from the starting date. For accounting purposes, most of the time we don't need these odd dates like this, but we need the month end. So let's try to generate the next n month ends from a given date. So starting from this date, I want the month ends of the next 12 months to be given as a sequence. So for financial models and forecasts and things like that, we can generate the month ends using this function. So to get month ends, I will use the EO month or end of month function. So it's EO month as a date function end of month. And then for the start date, I give the date from this cell. And for the months, I will use a sequence function. So this is how we commonly feed a sequence into other functions. So we just type sequence. And for the rows, I need one row. And for the number of months or the columns, I need 12. So I refer to that cell. And I want to start from the given month, so 0. And then increment or step of 1. So it goes two brackets and press enter. And now if I select and then do the short date format. So now I got month ends we started from 15th March. So I give an odd date. So the month end of March is 31st and April is 30th. So likewise, every month end is given correctly and February is 28. The date is 28. So it has correctly given me the month ends for 12 months starting from this month, this date. We can actually generate using the same formula we created here, months exceeding 12 months. So let's say we want to have a sequence of 24 months or 2 years. I can just change this to 24. And if I come and see, so we went from here, from 31st March. This is 1 year. And then onwards, formatting is not applied. So I need to do the formatting. Let's check whether it's correct. I'll change the formatting first. So we change it to short date. And you see, after 28 February 23, it has then gone to 31st March 23. So that's correct. So the function can handle more than 12 months as an argument. So it correctly calculates the number sequence. So whatever number of months you want to get, let's say for 5 years, you can use 60. So you can just input that into the function and you will get a end of month sequence going to that number of months. So here, if you want to have the sequence of dates going by months and not by dates, you can do that by using the text function. So if I type over here, there's a function text. And if I select that, and if I give this cell as the cell reference, I can give whatever the format I want for it to be converted to. Let's say I want it as March 2022. I can type within double quotations MMM dash YYYY, 4 Ys. And I can close the bracket and press enter. So I got March 2022. So if I want to have, instead of I want the whole month name, like March, I can add another M here. So that will give the whole month name. And if I want just the last 2 digits of the year, I can reduce this to 2 Ys. And I got March 2022. So this kind of format I can use inside the function to change the dates into this form. So here I got the date sequence here. So I can type the function here, text. And for the value, I will select this cell over here, B137. And since I want to refer to the whole spill range, I will use the hash operator like this. B137 hash, so it will select all of the dates. And I will put a comma. And then I can give the format I want to use for the date. So in this case, I will go with MMM and YYYY, 4 Ys to get the full year. And close the bracket and press enter. So I got this in this format. So this 31st March has become March 2022. 30th April has become April 2022, like that. So if I want, actually I can wrap this whole function inside the text function like here and get it at once. So I will just copy this, Control C, and let's come here. I will paste it like this. And forget the same numbers. So I will start at the beginning over here and insert the text function. So the whole function will be now wrapped inside the text function to do the formatting. So I use text and I will come here and I can give the date format I want. So I will again use MMM dash YYYY, double quotation and close bracket and press enter. So I got the same dates already formatted. So here, of course, I referred to this cell range using the hash operator and converted it after I have calculated the sequence. If I want to straight away calculate the sequence and then change the date format also, I can put the year month function with the sequence inside the text function like this. So it will get the same results.
Thanks for watching. Hi. In this video, we will learn about the RANDARRAY function in Excel.
The RANDARRAY function can generate an array of numbers between two values. We can define the size of the array by giving the number of rows and columns as arguments, and the generated values can be either decimals or whole numbers. So the syntax is RANDARRAY, rows, that's the number of rows we want, and the default number is 1, and columns is the number of columns we want, and the default number is again 1, and minimum is the minimum value in the range, and the default value is 0, and maximum is the maximum value in the range, and the default for that is 1. And with the integer argument, we can specify whether we want whole numbers, integers, and the integer argument will specify whether we want whole numbers or decimal numbers. And the default here is decimal numbers. And you have to note that RANDARRAY is a volatile function, which means it recalculates every time there's a change in the worksheet. So let's look at some examples. Here we want to generate 40 values in a range of 8 rows by 5 columns. So we can write the function like this, equals RANDARRAY. And the number of rows is 8 and it's 5 columns. And I can close bracket and press send. So get a 40 values, 8 by 5, all random. And it basically spills into the range. And here, if I do some change, let's say I type 1 over here, you can see it recalculated. So that's why it's basically called a volatile function. Every time you do a change in your workbook, this updates and a new set of numbers are generated. So if you want to keep the numbers fixed, you will have to copy and paste it as values. So I can do Control C here. And I will come over here and I will use the shortcut Alt ES and V, and that's for values, and press OK. Now I got a static set of numbers. So this, if you're going to use these numbers again and again, it will be changing. So it's always better to copy paste as values and use these numbers if you're going to use it. And you can see the default numbers we are getting are decimal numbers, not the integers. Here we want to return a random array of integers, 5 rows by 4 columns, and the range is between 1 and 10. So let's write the function equals RANDARRAY, and the rows are 5, and we want 4 columns, and minimum value is 1, and the maximum value is 10, and we want integers. So we will select true option and press enter. So here we got a random array of 20 numbers, all integers. And here we want to get an array of 24 integers between 1 and 100 without any duplicates. So let's write the function RANDARRAY. So we want 24 numbers, so we will put 24 as rows and 1 column, and minimum is 1 and the maximum value is 100, and we want integers, so go for the last argument, close the bracket and press enter. So here actually I have put conditional formatting to this range, so that's why these numbers are highlighted. So these are actually duplicates. So you can see 32 here, 32 here, 87, 87, 75 and 75, and here also we got another 75. So generally when you use this function, you can get duplicates. So here we want to only have 24 integers. So what we do? We can basically wrap it around in a unique function. So I can do it here. I will write, to make it easy, I will just copy this function from here. Control C. And come over here and paste it. And in front, I will put unique function. So I will only generate unique numbers. Then I will close the unique function bracket over here and press enter. So now I have got some numbers, and you can see it's less than 24. These are all unique, but it's less than 24. So I will just put some numbers here so we can see. Let me copy it down. So we have 24 numbers up to here. So the unique function has restricted the number to 22. So we wanted 24 numbers, but we are only getting 22 because the unique function has removed some duplicates. So if we want to end up with 24 integers, we might have to increase the number over here. So rather than 24, maybe we can try with 26. So got the hash spill error because of some data over here. Let me insert some space. So now I got 24 numbers. And let me check whether it's unique. I can go to conditional formatting, highlight cell rows, and select duplicate values. And I'll add red fill with dark red text. Okay. And as you can see, there are no duplicate numbers in the range. So we can use unique function to extract only unique numbers. And by the way, here, RANDARRAY, after going through a new iteration, it has come up with some unique numbers. That's why the conditional formatting doesn't highlight any duplicates. So sometimes you can get exactly the number you want, but if you don't get, you need to increase the number like this from 24 to maybe 26 and so on to get the required number of unique values. We can also use the RANDARRAY function to generate random letters between A to Z. To do that, we need the help of another function that is called the char function or character function. So let me first show you how that works. So here, let's say I have 65. The char function basically returns the character that has character number 65. So if I close the bracket and press enter, I get A. So from 65, let me increase this to 66 and so on. And if I copy it down like this, and let me copy down this function as well. So you see, from character number 65 to 90 will give you the characters A to Z when you use that in the char function. So let's use the char function and the RANDARRAY function together to generate the letters A to Z. So let's now use the RANDARRAY function and the char function to generate a random letter between A to Z. So I can write the function like this, equals, I will start with char, and inside, for the number argument, I will use a RANDARRAY function. So for the RANDARRAY, I need only one row and one column because I need just one character, so one cell. And the minimum value is 65. So that refers to A. And the maximum value is 90. That refers to Z. And I will select integer here. I will put the closing bracket for char function and press enter. and I got generated the letter E, and I got a randomly generated E over here. If I do some change in the workbook like this, if I type 1, now it has recalculated and I got J. We can use RANDARRAY to generate random dates as well. So let's look at how we can generate random dates between two dates, for example, first. So I can write the function like this, RANDARRAY. And let's say I want 10 days. I will give 10 as the row number. And for columns, I will use one column. And for min, I will give the starting date. So let's say I will need to put it in double quotations if I'm giving it in hard code form. So I will give from 1st of January 2024 as the starting point, the minimum value. For the max value, I will give 30th April 2024. Close double quotation. And I will use integer and close bracket and press enter. So let's format this. Short date. So I gave from 1st of Jan 24 to 30th April 24. So I got all these dates are between those two dates. So that's how we can generate random dates between two given dates. So now let's try to generate 10 random dates in the next 12 months, starting from today and including today. So let's build the function equals RANDARRAY, and I need 10 dates. So I'll put 10 as the number of rows and one column. And for the min value, I want to start from today. So I will use the today function. Close the bracket for the today. And for the min, I will need a date between next 12 months. So to get a date between next 12 months, I will use the eDate function. eDate. And I'll give the starting date as today. And the number of months to go forward is 12. So I'll put 12 for months. And for the last argument, I will use integer. So, and press enter. So let's format this and see. So from today, next 12 months. So I got dates that are between the next 12 months starting from today. Here we are going to use the RANDARRAY to generate 5 random names from a list of names. So here we got, if we take the count, we got 20 names. Here the count is 20. So from these 20 names, I want to select 5 random names. So we can actually use index function in combination with the RANDARRAY. Let's see how we can do it. We will start with index. And for the array, we will give this array, the 20 names. And then within this array, now we are going to select a random row number. So to do that, I will give RANDARRAY here. And we want 5 names. So we will give 5 as the number of rows and one column. And the minimum value, we will give 1. And the maximum is 20 because we got 20 names. And finally, we will use integer and close the bracket. And I need to close another bracket for the index function and press enter. And here I got 5 random names using the combination of index and RANDARRAY.
Thanks for watching.